A&C Masterpiece back here on 105.3 The Fan. We are live out here with Tony Pollard. How are you today, man?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here.
So I think we need to start with Corey noticing one of your accessories that he loves very, very much. What can you tell us about the chain that you're rocking today?
I mean, it comes with it, the hard work, so you should reward yourself sometimes. So that's just a little bit of that right there.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, man, this is really good because recently he was allowed to award himself. His wife was like, you can award yourself a little bit. And he bought tickets to a wrestling match and then flipped them for more money.
Okay,
was that a good investment?
Okay. I like that.
See?
Like that.
So I got to enjoy it and I made money.
Exactly.
That's just common sense, right?
That's a win-win.
How many pairs of shoes do you come to camp with? Do you come like with just one pair and you're like, I'll get more later, or what?
I think I probably came with like 3 or 4, but most of them just something to wear, just to walk around, so I don't have to wear house shoes all the time.
Okay. All right. Now, are you slides, flip-flops? What do you do?
I'm
with
a slide guy.
Slides guy? Yeah. My nephew's same way. My kids the same way, too. They're like, these are the easiest to wear.
Yeah.
So
easy to get in, get out.
Absolutely.
Okay, then, are house shoes the most comfortable shoe, or are they a give-up? Because sometimes I do tease my wife that I feel like she's given up on the day when she has her house shoes on.
I wouldn't say it's a give up. I wouldn't put that.
All right.
House shoes, man.
There you go, Jess. He says you're good.
I think you could wear slides pretty much anywhere, as long as if you can get into the store. I think you're fine there. There's always a good 7-Eleven run too.
All right.
A good 7-Eleven run.
Now, we just had the opportunity to talk with a Medal of Honor recipient. Obviously, lots of military personnel, first responders out in the crowd today for practice. I'm just curious, what does it mean for you? I know you still have to practice and do the mock game and everything like that, but what does it mean for y'all to have the opportunity to also, interact with that community and give back some?
I mean, it's just big, the fact that they notice us and, they're fans of what we do because, the whole world, the whole, the United States is fans of what they do. We wouldn't be here without them. So it's just big having them here to support us, knowing that they're with us.
That's interesting because the whole United States is also paying attention to the Cowboys too, right? Like you get that? Did you absorb that when you became a Cowboy, or did it take a little bit to be like, man, this is a really big?
I mean, I think I pretty much got that. I knew it was America's team. Like that's something that you hear, throughout your life. Even if you're not a Cowboy fan, you know that Dallas Cowboys are America's team. So that's something that off the jump, not even having to play for.
Now, the role, let's talk a little bit about the role, and then we'll talk about barbecue in a minute. But the role with this team, Zeke is Zeke. He's got the big contract. He's the number one guy. What do you see yourself as? Do you see yourself as a number one guy too? What are your options? What do you want to do?
I mean, I'm just making the most of every opportunity that I get. Wherever it goes from there is – I'm going to leave it in their hands. But, I just try to do my best to make the most out of each and every opportunity I get and just let my film talk for itself.
Now, and that's another thing, too, because we've seen plenty of times where you've been hit in the backfield and made something happen, or got hit and still were able to bounce off and move up. Are there real thoughts going through at that moment, or is it all instinct?
A lot of it, it's a lot of pre-thinking, like before the snap, but like once the ball is snapped, it's basically just running off what you see and natural instincts a lot of the time.
Now, your shirt says fight, and I get it's the right kind of fight, but let's bring it up. You don't have to say anything if you don't want. We saw several Rams players on Saturday trying to fight, maybe not in the right way. What did you think about get a little chippy, got a little physical? Maybe some people threw punches at you and then ran off to their sideline. What did you think about that?
I mean, it all comes with the game of football. It's going to get chippy, especially bringing in another team. So, we were just on high alert, but we weren't trying to start anything or anything like that, but we just had to let it be known that we weren't going to take anything either.
Did you look at this place as this is our turf? I mean, I know you're in California, but you're like, this is our place, though.
Yeah, that's how it is once we come out here. And this my third year with the Cowboys, so this is my second time out here. So, yeah, it's definitely like home for us.
What did you think about the fact that, like you said, 80% of the fans, at least here, were for y'all, even though we were in the home state of the other team?
I wasn't surprised at all, especially knowing how, Cowboy Nation travels, to support the Cowboys, whether it's a home game or away game. You really can't tell too big of a difference.
We talk a lot, when we're goofing off on radio a lot, but when we discuss what they want to do, what Kellen Moore wants to get done. We always discuss you and get him in space, find space for him. Can you define or explain why getting you into an area where you have open field is so important and what you can do as opposed to being maybe between the tackles or whatnot?
I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm just as good either or, whether I'm in space or have to go in between the tackles. I feel like I can be just as dangerous. But, you know, it's just fun being out in space. You know, it's a lot of natural instincts, you know, just going off of what you see and reacting off what the guys give you. A lot of it you can't really tell yourself what you're going to do before the play. It just has to happen in that moment. So.
Yeah, okay, this is I just popped in my head. Linebackers coming from the right, you're on the left sideline. Do you try to lean into him more than you would a safety? Do you want to get away from him? Like, what are you thinking with those guys? Like, you see a safety or a corner, are you just like, I can cut and miss this guy?
It all depends, you know, the game situation, maybe what time of the game we're in, the position, are we winning, are we up, you know, how aggressive do we need to be? So all that has to do with it. But for the most part, I'm trying to avoid hits so I can play as long as I want to, as long as possible.
That might deter this next question then, but I did want to know, do you have a defensive bucket list player where you're like, I'd smash into that person and see what happens?
I'm not really just trying to, you know, just purposely just run into somebody and run them over. But if they're in the way and stopping me from getting where I need to go, then I don't have any problem lowering my shoulder and keep going.
Does Zeke do that? Do you feel like sometimes he's like, I want to find contact?
It's a little bit different with him. So two different backs. So.
Well, and speaking of that, and I know you guys can work in cooperation. I was curious, how much on social media are you, or how much do you interact with Cowboys Nation, and what does it mean to you to know how many people out there want to see more of you?
I mean, it means a lot, you know, to know that the work that you're putting in, you know, behind the scenes and on the scenes is not going unnoticed. So just having the fans, you know, behind you, it's definitely big and important.
Yeah, we do topics a lot of times where, you know, it's the who do you want to see more. We'll ask the fans who they want to see. Your name is always at the top of the list.
Yeah.
Like, it's always like we feel like this guy can make plays happen. And that's something that I don't know if you knew that, but there are a lot of fans out there that are always just like right at the top of the list. So.
Yeah, I'm very appreciative of that. You know, it just shows that the hard work is not going unnoticed. You know, people are watching.
The other part, though, is I do remember you coming into the state and saying that the Memphis barbecue is better than Texas barbecue. My sister-in-law works at St. Jude in Memphis, and so I get a chance to visit. Been to Corky's, been to Rendezvous. I've got in Central, and I checked all that out. Now, your family has a barbecue restaurant, and what's the name of it again?
Pollard's Barbecue.
Pollard's makes sense, Kevin.
That does make sense.
His name is Tony Pollard.
I know. I understand.
So can you kind of explain like your difference? Because I grew up in Texas, but when I go visit, I'm not like, hey, I want to argue. I just want to enjoy barbecue.
I mean, Texas barbecue is definitely good. Don't get me wrong, but you know, I just grew up on Memphis barbecue, and the thing in Memphis, we don't really do a lot of brisket.
Okay.
Like we do out here in Texas, but
pork.
For the most part, that's pretty much the only difference. But everything else, it's definitely good out here. But I have to stay with home because, you know, I'm born and raised.
Is it more ribs?
More ribs and pork.
Okay.
Type. Yeah.
Dry or wet?
I like mine's dry.
Yeah. See, there you go. A lot of people are like, nah, just put all that candy on it. I'm like, nah, just give me the dry rub.
Oh, man, it's like originalist barbecue. I like that. So we hear a lot of players, they talk about the progression of camp. Want to know individually for you, like, how can you tell the team's getting better? How can you tell you're getting better or you're on point for that first game against Tampa?
I mean, just coming in, like, after every practice, we have team meetings, and, you know, they'll put up on the big screen, like, how many MAs or mental errors or missed assignments that we had, and just seeing a number like at the beginning of camp, it may be a high number, but gradually over time the numbers start to go down. So that's when you know that you're going in the right direction.
Do you ever ask for video proof of any of those errors? You're like, I don't think so. You got me down for 7. I don't think so today.
Actually, we do.
How does that usually turn out for the player?
It's pretty much lose-lose for us, but we still have to know.
Now, before you came over here, you were in the cold tub, I believe. Is that what you
I was
did?
supposed to. I ended up lifting.
Okay, cold tub. How cold is that thing actually? Is it just chock full of ice? Is it little like a?
Yeah, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Just a tub with water and ice.
Then did it take a while? Like, does your body, all right, I'm going to be fine. Do you feel the benefits from the cold tub?
Yeah, you definitely feel the benefits, especially once you get to doing it routinely, getting in it every day. But it's definitely a big, it's big on keeping your legs intact, keeping your legs from getting heavy out here going practices back to back.
I did see J.J. Watt and T.J. Watt go, cut a hole in the ice up in, the Arctic up north. Would you ever go up there and just cut a hole and just lay down in the water up there?
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Man, if it got you all those all-pros, we might change them.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what goes into it or if they are just their own different breed from there. Man, I'm not doing that.
That being said, on your team, you get a chance to, this offense well, but you also get to play against this defense too. Who's the one guy on your defense that you don't want to get hit by? You're like, I don't want him to put square up on me again.
It's a couple of guys.
Oh, nice.
Actually, pretty much the whole D-line. I don't want to get hit by any of those big, 300-pounders. I'm good on those hits. The linebackers, all of the linebackers can hit. Jalen, Layden, Keanu, Micah. So, like I said, I try to avoid hits. That's my philosophy. But if I have to, then I'll take one.
Yeah, but all the guys in the NFC East, they couldn't catch you anyway, so you'd be all right?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
See, were you trying to bait him into saying things about?
He did it exactly. He knows exactly where we're going with that.
So I know we have to. I know the philosophy of you take it a practice at a time and everything. Are you able to kind of contain your excitement level now that we're less than a month away from the season opener, and you're like, yeah, first we got to focus on the Arizona game, and how do you prep for that first one, knowing that we got some other stuff to do first?
I think a big job or a big thing for us in prepping, getting ready for the games. The Hall of Fame game, just those little games like preseason games. They're big with just getting you ready getting you used to your nerves and emotions with the fans in it. The scrimmage, having the fans here. It's just little things like that to just get you more dialed in, ready for the game day.
What is exciting a lot of Cowboys fans, the premiere of Hard Knocks. What is the buzz? I know y'all are used to having media everywhere, but is there going to be a team watch party? Are you nervous? Are you excited? What do you think?
Nah, I don't think we're having a team watch party or anything like that. We just watch it whenever we get a chance to, honestly.
If you see it and you're not featured enough, we go demand more time, or we just should find the cameras and be hey, I'm here.
I try to stay away from the cameras.
That's probably smart.
That's okay. I like that. Just show it on the field on game day. That's what all works. Well, thanks a lot, man, for your time.
Absolutely.
Hope you have a great rest of your camp, man.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Tony.
it.
Yeah.